I lost my shoe. Oh, hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, see, I screwed this up. It's ripped, it's bent. I destroyed it. It's my fault. There's some other stuff in here I need to fix, but we'll get to that later. Let's worry about what Mike did and see if he can fix it or screw it up worse. But anyway, I'll show you how I did it, what's going on, and how I'm going to fix it. Yep. Yeah. Probably not. Welcome back. Jumps Automotive. Hey, give me a hand up. Fine. Golly. I'm such a dummy. Oh. Yeah, here, I'll pick this up too. Anyways, so when I put the body back on the frame, frame's already done. That's a video thing, you'll have to look back. I hooked a ratchet strap from there to here, used my cherry picker, my engine crane, whatever you want to call it, to jack the body up to get the frame underneath it. And that side didn't hurt nothing. But over here, you can see this, where the metal's pinched and moved, and you can see that, where it's laid over. This is supposed to be that direction by a lot. It's supposed to look just like this, nice and smooth and square, not all sucked in right there and rolled over. So I'm hoping I can get Mr. Porta Power out, maybe go from there to there and just push it back. That's a contraption, if I ever did see one. So I'm hoping I can just push, use a piece of wood, that way the wood would kind of crush instead of this crushing that. Anyhow, so I'm gonna set you up, we're gonna watch it right there and see what happens. Maybe I crush this whole thing. If I gotta buy this piece right here, it actually goes all the way up here because I bought one for each side. $275, and that was like 4 years ago. So they're probably like 900 now, you know, so. All right, let's see what happens. That's not good. Well, here goes nothing. You guys yell at me if I'm tearing stuff up. Yeah, I know, it's too late already. Let's go. Let's see what I'm tearing up. Something, I'm sure. Yeah, it's going. I mean, it pulled this whole quarter panel in. Getting there. We'll go with a little more. Ain't nothing Bondo can't fix. My jack's trying to slip out. It did. All right, reset. Let's try it again. It's going. How well, I don't know. I don't know if it's going good, but it's going. Probably give it some love taps with a hammer. That's about square. It should be. You always go just a little farther than you need to because it's going to bounce back. Get the body hammer. Yeah, I'm going to do a little weldy over here. It's funny, when I tap it, I can feel it move. That pressure on it. Let's do a little more. Sure, wanting to push that frame rail over. We don't want to tear that up. I've had enough of that with this car. Just trying to shock them molecules to go back where they used to be. I think it's right there. I'll back her off. Let's see what it's going to look like. Well, it's better than it was. This is straight now instead of like that. This is flat instead of bowed, where it, you know, hey, I think we're good. Well, that wasn't so bad. All right, let's see how we did. So, this is straight, then yeah, it was straight. It's a little bit funny right there, but it's I think it's fine. What I mean is this is straight to the rest of the car. That's pretty much popped out. It's gonna need a little weld. It got a little rip right there, so that's not a huge deal. You know, like I said, it pulled this whole quarter panel in. I could tell. This looks funny, but that's for another reason. It's not my fault. Compare it to this side. If you look, nice sweeping quarter panel. This is nice and square. This is straight. Like I was saying, to the other side don't look too much different. There's a little cut right there, almost like it needs welded, but that's how these were made. So it's probably what helped the other one rip a little bit. Yeah, I think it's fine. But then you notice this is actually in by just a little bit. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but like right here, you can't see it, right? Right here, you can kind of see it. down here, can't see it because this thing had been hit right here, already knocked out the best part of the dent where the bumper comes over, which is right here. That was all KO'd and twisted. So this whole thing's been shoved in. So this is under just a little bit. And let me get a light and I'll show you what I mean. So really, you can kind of see right here, that little bend. And there's also a little bend right here. From looking at the other side, that's not there. Of course, this panel welds to the fender well, the inner fender well, welds to the fender. So this needs pushed out just the littlest bit. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a little kink right here. So I'm figuring if I can get my Porta Power, well, I got it out, Mr. Porta Power. Thanks there, little buddy. You're a pain in the butt, but I can't live without you. If I can get it somewhere in here, up against the frame rail here, which there's the, if you guys are new to the channel, there's cobwebs all over it. Thin bolt Nova, rear diff, lowering blocks, brand new leaf springs, brand new bushings, you know. And of course the leaf springs are on the inside now instead of out here. So therefore, we got, this is the small tire. I mean, I could put a tire on there, you know, really big if I wanted to. New trunk floor. It's actually a lot nicer vehicle than it looks from the outside. But let me get set up, see if I can pull this out, and I'll double check on the other side. I'm pretty sure it's not like that, but this quarter panel still needs pushed out just a little bit. We can always poly and dammer up here and get that straightened out, but it's kind of get the general shape going. So on the gooder side, you line straight up with this pinch weld straight at that hole, so I can just start seeing that. If we look over here, we do the same thing. We can barely see it, but not as much, right? So it still needs to come out. Especially you get real straight on it, you really can't see none of it. So here we go, our setup. We're pushing it up against, this is the bottom of the quarter panel, up against the frame rail, piece of wood, so don't scratch up my frame too much. Not that it really matters, but you're not gonna see it. But you might be able to see, because look at that ram come out. Of course you hear it doing stuff. And I'm okay if I bend this flange up, we can straighten that out. I'm trying to just push that whole thing out right here, the whole thing. I know old guy off the floor video is what you wanted to see, isn't it? So I'll line straight up with that. Even if I look at it straight on, what's it look like? It almost ends just outside of this line, right? I'm just trying to get a reference. So this one, you line straight up with that, it goes quite a bit farther than that. It is outside, but we're more further, or so we need to go further. See, this one is actually just about lined up with that pinch weld. Let me not get on the ground and I'll watch from the outside. And I might have to jump up here and go to this side of it, to be honest, because this could be out far enough, but that's gonna stay. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come to this side of that panel and push. I think that did it. See where it's at now? Of course, this little end flange, you can kind of bend it around, but I made sure it's square to the rest of the car like on the other side, and that'll do it. Like this one. Yeah. And it's got a nice round similar body shape. The quarter panel itself is perpendicular with the car. Over here is probably out just a little bit, but it's pretty much now, it's right there. Before it was caved in. Stoved in, we would call it back in the day. Stoved in, I don't know how they got that term, but right on. I'm gonna let it back. It's got pressure on it. I know it's I'll probably go a little bit further than let it back. Till next time, Mr. Porta Power, thanks for your help, buddy. Now I think I gave probably a little over 400 bucks for that, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago from Tractor Supply. I think you can get them even, smaller for a couple $100 somewhere, I'm sure. Very, very handy if you're gonna do stuff like this very often. And I bought it just cause I like tearing stuff up and I like to be able to fix it. Perfect example. Oh, and the big example, that right there. So go get you one if you're gonna do this kind of stuff, or if not, you could probably rent one. You could probably borrow one from somebody, if you just got one little problem, or pay me a few bucks, have them bring it over and help you out. So what I'm gonna do, I've got the rest of the trim off. There's that original color. I'm hesitant to go with this original color, only because of the color of interior I have. May not match, but I don't know. We're getting closer. Let's go ahead and get this soaked down with the orange magical oozy goo and let it soak overnight. We'll get this cleaned up and call it a video. Well, same process as before. The old citrus strip. Just a little bit of a shorter video this week. I've got a lot going on. This is the week before Halloween, so I've got some special guests coming. Unfortunately, you'll see that video before this one, so I don't know why I'm saying anything. I'm actually a week ahead on videos. If you notice any kind of, it's a good thing, trust me. But I did want to make sure before we get too carried away to thank a couple people. There's been a couple people who, best I can tell, want to be anonymous for the good old virtual Junks Automotive tip jar, and I wanted to thank them. You know, I'm not going to say their name because, best I can tell, if they didn't leave me a note and I'm not sure who they are, I don't want to call them out. People can be funny about that sometimes, and I'm okay with that. But Wayne, thanks, Wayne, and you're a champion, buddy. It'll all go to car parts and orange jizz, you know. And Heath, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Any of you guys that subscribe and like and comment, even if it's not the best comment, it's okay. I'm all about it. You guys know that. I'll respond to it. Yeah, I really appreciate all you guys. Have really done a lot for me over the last couple of years. It's gonna make me get out here and do something, and it's nice to hear how I've helped a lot of you and encouraged you and showed you how, if a hillbilly like me could do it, I know you can. All right, you get this slopped up real good and I'll show you when we're done. Not too bad for, I don't know, I've spent an hour and a half out here after work. I've got to get inside and we'll let this sit 24 hours. See what kind of surprises we got tomorrow evening. Get that all scraped up, but it's hard telling what we're going to find. Surprises for sure. All right, see you then. Stick around. Next day, after work, you know, day job things. I don't know, this stuff did something funny. I believe it was too cold overnight because it didn't seem to do quite as good. It seemed like it's scraping off, but you know. All right, let me get this scraped off best we can and see what we got. I did a little bit already, and yeah, there's been damage right there. Who knows? All right, scrape down, rub down, I do some real aggressive 3M pads with some water, washed it down. Then I did the same thing with lacquer thinner. Then I lacquer thinner it again and wiped it off with a towel. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a little DA action with some 80 grit and just see if I can't make it look a little bit better. Boy, that yellow paint is something else. That must be some straight up enamel or something. I don't know. It doesn't like coming off, but all right. Get a little DA stuff done and see how it looks. There you have it. Use Mr. Porter Power to fix up our damage. I mean, my damage. Some of the damage was somebody else's. I do notice that there's Bondo through here. So my little crease, a little damage. I'll have to fix that. Do a little bit more sanding, rust preventative stuff. But next week we're going to go on to this door because it's going to be a chore. Mr. Door here is, he's pretty rough. So listen, if you got a couple hours during the week, one night, go out there and work on your project. If you can't get to your project, work a couple hours trying to get to it. Organize a little bit, get rid of some stuff. If you don't have a place to work on your project, spend a couple hours every week working on that, right? If you don't have a project, go rake some leaves, clean some gutters for a couple hours every week. Save that money towards your project, right? What's not important is what you have. What's important is what you want. So if you want it bad enough, you're going to do it. Trust me. I do it all the time, working on this junk. Anyway, I like his junk. It's pretty cool. Hey, see you next week. Appreciate it. Again, everybody who's contributed to things, liked the videos, commented and shared and subscribed. It makes the world to me, right? And it makes it really worthwhile doing the video thing. That's just all it boils down to. Peace. Thanks for coming back. See you next week. I got to go take a shower.